I'm at my favorite place to download videos. I'm gonna get to this Mestatic devices here in a few minutes. I'll probably have people out. I'm sure there are people out there that are experts on it, but I only heard about it a couple of days ago. I download a few videos and kind of get the feel for it. I need to set up a CB radio on my pickup, so I got something probably set up. But a friend of mine's vehicle for a CB radio. Now I've got a magnetic base antenna. And if I had to have one, I could have it set up in about 10, 15 minutes. It's kind of hot wired and set the antenna rough. I could have some ready to go just in a few minutes. Of course, something like that, I'd have a cheapy radio in there. I wouldn't have an expensive radio in there. One of my sideband rigs. I got a 40 channel AM that's kind of small. You could probably bolt it to about where my right knee would be in my pickup. Be kind of out of the way. I can still hear it, still use it. I'm gonna figure something in there. I need to mount a radio. Now, if I mounted one of my sideband rigs in there, I'd want to have it secured. I might put some holes in the transmission hump and have something very secure in there. So if somebody decided they want it, they're going to have to put some effort into getting it. Next thing I'm going to cover. There's no pigeons, I don't see pigeons or crows out here. Put some stale peanuts up there 3 or 4 days ago, and they're long gone. I'm guessing the birds or somebody came in and got them. I think birds would be the only ones be interested. I don't think the cats. Dogs couldn't get up there to get them. I don't think dogs eat peanuts anyway. I don't know. Do cats or dogs eat peanuts? These were stale ones. They're just ones that I found when I was doing some house cleaning. Anyway, I just used the ATM on my new bank. Quite exciting. A little bit different than any other ATM I've ever used. Now, this bank might be Deutsche Bank. They're headquartered I believe they're headquartered in Frankfurt. Or it might be a bank that's headquartered in a third world country that caters to drug dealers. And got a little bit harder for my last bank, Chase Bank, to get in there and try to access any of my funds. Well, before they can do anything legal, they got to go through a judge. And I think if the bank tried to explain how they're trying to honor some of our fraudulent purchases, they'll probably have to lie to a judge. And most judges don't appreciate being lied to, like I didn't appreciate being lied to. I didn't appreciate being called a liar for about 2 weeks. That's what Chase Bank did. Chase Bank called me a liar for 2 weeks, and I got sick and tired of it. That's the reason I won't answer their phone calls. I got sick and tired of Chase, and never again. Well, I don't even care to talk to them. I don't care to be called a liar. That's enough on that. Next thing I'm going to cover is this Mestatic. I'm thinking it wrong. It's a messaging, private and open source messaging services. There's different encryption methods, different ways of encrypting. Now, I didn't hear, but first I heard about this was a couple of days ago when the Save It for Parts guy was covering. I'm just going to download what information I can find. I need to set up a CB radio on my pickup. So I've got, I could set something up. I've got a magnetic base antenna that does work. So I could have a radio hooked up, just hot wire it, have it working in about half an hour if I had have a working CB radio. I've got some behind the seat. I got my cheapy radios. I don't have my too expensive sideband rigs either. I keep those at home. Other ones are not quite as expensive as my 40 channel sideband. I've got a 23 channel sideband rig behind the seat. I think I could go in there and change the crystals a little bit and convert that. Now, some people will change you go in and change the oscillator a little bit, so they'll get some of the higher frequencies. I'm not sure how the FCC thinks about somebody using frequencies outside the assigned CB radio frequencies. I just prefer not to get in trouble with the FCC. Oh, hey, there's a UFO flying overhead. Actually, I know exactly who that is. I know what that vehicle is. I was kidding around before when I called that a UFO. It's an identified flying object and not an unidentified flying object because I know how to helium-filled dirigible is. That guy's going pretty good. Not sure quite why he's here in the valley because there's no scheduled sporting events here. I think, of course, he might be hopscotching across the valley and the nation to hit the Super Bowl on Sunday. And I'll cover those Super Bowl ads. The ones that I saw had to be some of the dumbest, some of the lamest videos, some of the dumbest ads. I wonder where that guy's going. Maybe he's headed over for the Glendale Airport. I've gone past it a few times. Next time I'm over there close to Glendale Airport, and got a bit of time, I need to see how close I can get to Glendale Airport and get some video from over there. Got some video from the Goodyear Airport. It looks like that's exactly where he's headed. Of course, he may just be circling around the valley. Wish I'd got that B-29 when it flew overhead. I wish I'd taken that $10 tour. But if it ever shows up again, I'm going to take the $10 tour of that B-29. They were flying out of the Goodyear Airport. I got some video while I was sitting over there. Let's see what else I think I got to cover. Oh, the wrecking yard. Yeah, it's two over on 27th Avenue. They're on the west side of 27th Avenue, about halfway between Buckeye Road and Van Buren. They've been there for years. The one I normally hit up is like about 25th Avenue in Buckeye. Can't remember the names because they will change them periodically, but they keep the location the same. You just change, from you pull it, you yank it out, you pull and pay, you drag it out. I don't know, they got all kind of weird names for some of these wrecking yards. But anyway, there's two self-service wrecking yards. You're gonna have a half price sale. Probably go over there and buy some tires because I need to get some tires. There are a few of the little piddly parts I need for my pickup. If you're not familiar with a self-service auto wrecking yard, you take your tools in there, take all what you want. Like the grocery store, you go in there, you get your grub, you pay for it on the way out. The wrecking yards, the self-service wrecking yards are like that. You pick off the parts you want, and you pay on the way out. Now they have half price sale tomorrow. Probably go in there and buy some tires. Need to buy some tires. Celebrate all this work that's come in. Yeah, I don't see the blimp anymore. Circle around. He's probably headed. Looks like he's headed for the Glendale Airport. Anyway, I'll say bye-bye from here. If you want to meet up with me at the wrecking yards, probably get over there. They open about 7:30. I'll probably get over there around 7:30, 8 o'clock. There's two that are having a half price sale. Both of them are on 27th Avenue. You pull and pay or something like that. Okay, if you want to go and buy something, you're welcome to. I'm sure they'd love to have your business. You're going to put an engine or a tranny or a rear end or whatever, or just get some tires like I plan to do. Bye-bye.